and now you're reigning Scotties champion. Rachel Homan joins us with Tracy Fleury. You guys are representing, by the way, Rach, because I'm from Sudbury, where Tracy's from, and I went to high school and university in Ottawa. So you guys are my champions. You are my champions. And before we talk to you, Tracy gets the nicest person in the world award, not because you're not nice, Rachel. So I totally embarrassed myself at the Nisku event, the Slam, and I had to go interview Carrie Anderson, and I had an Anderson hat. Okay, I got it printed off, and I'm walking into the building, and Tracy's walking down the stairs, and I start to point to my hat, thinking she curls with Anderson, and I'm going, "Look at me, Trace. Look who I'm supporting, eh? Look at this." And she's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Biggest brain cramp I ever had. Anyway, congratulations, you guys. Fantastic. Rachel, I think you almost curled 100% in the last game we were talking about. And Warren said, not only that, man, but the amount of shots that you threw. And what are you going to do? Curl 110%, Rachel? Talk about the week.
Yeah, it was a great week. Definitely one for the record books, and yeah, just exciting to go back with the same team and have another dominant performance. It kind of shows, we didn't just fluke it off last year, and we definitely had a great week and kind of built into playoffs and kind of had our stronger games as we went along.
Yeah. It's probably a little easier to have sort of pump me up talks with your team if you lose a game. Okay, but you lost 0 games, okay? You're on as the overused expression these days, you're on an unbelievable heater. What do you guys talk about after each game? It's like, way to go, guys. Let's how are you handling this? How's everyone keeping their head on straight?
I mean, even when we win, there's always like a few shots we want back every game, or like a couple decisions to talk about. So, yeah, we're always debriefing our games and we want to bring something to the next game. Just a lot of open communication on the team to always just try to raise the bar and get better.
Talk about that, the team dynamic. I was talking earlier about chemistry means so much to performance and success. Rachel, you've seen people come and go. Other teams. What about chemistry? This must be like nothing you've ever seen with a team.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all on the same page. We all have the same goals, and we all have played with other people, and experienced highs and lows, and we've all been in those big moments, which I think is important. So coming together, we kind of all brought that experience. We're not like worried about someone, not being in those big moments. So I think bringing all of our our experiences from past teams and past games really gives us a leg up, and that we've all kind of been through the tough times, the good times, and then just knowing where you need to be to perform. I think everyone kind of knows that on the team, and we learned a little bit about each other as well. What people need from their teammates, and then just kind of ran with that, and it's been really successful. The first year together, we were trying to figure out where everyone fit because we've got a lot of back end players on the team, and I think it's really important. I think you need high curling IQ at all positions, because every position can give you an extra percentage here and there based on guesses and educated guesses, and mapping the sheet, whether it's for lines or for weight. And I think we have that on the team. So it was just first year was kind of figuring out where all the pieces fit, and then once we did, we kind of took off running.
A great sign of high performance and world class. I get a sense, Rachel, that some people, if there's a really tough shot, some people might go, "Oh my God, don't pick me," but other people might go, "Let me in, man. Let me in." And I'm sensing the tougher the shot, the more you rise to the occasion. That there's something that drives you going, I'll take this on. Is that fair?
She, yeah, that's why she's our skipper. We love her playing those hard, important shots. She makes them all the time, and yeah, when she's seeing it out there, we just step aside and let her throw it, and yeah, it's amazing to see.
Does that make sense, Rach? Do you really go rub your palms together, going, I can do this? Yeah, I'll take this on.
The 1-2 shot in 6, I wasn't really rubbing my hands, but I knew it was there by like 2 millimeters, so we went for it.
Right.
No, but I think there's times where we need to be smart, and then there's times where I really feel like we know the spot and we can make a really good educated guess. And Tracy line calling, the girls sweeping, everyone's so dialed that they feel a lot easier than they look. But like an example in the final in the second end, we had like by most ice condition standards like a relatively simple double blank, but just because of the ice conditions that we had there, like in the first few ends, it was like 11 seconds to T line. So if you're not like in tune with curling hog to hog times, that's unbelievably slow. That's a takeout to the T line. And then, when we went out wider, it was a little bit more unpredictable. Like that's kind of what we saw in the week. So it was just, not the time to gamble. We have our one and even end. It's a long game. And that's kind of an example of one that was like a hard shot, but relatively like we would take it on. But, you have to take in all the factors when you're playing those big shots. Are you comfortable making it? Do you have all the information? And in that instance, we didn't have any information on how to make that shot. So as easy as it kind of looked on TV, it's one where we kind of just walked away from it. So I think there's a bit of both. And the girls were like, wow, well, it's there, Rachel. But when they're seeing me like doubt a few things, like they know like, okay, we'll just make the draw for one and we'll get points another way. So I think we've got a good balance there of going for the big shots and big moments when we see that we can make a difference and crack the game open. And then sometimes we'll be a little bit more conservative.
Well done, Kevin.
Yeah, Tracy, Rachel brought up a great point, saying there's extra percentages here and there depending on team chemistry, abilities, all that type of stuff. And I want to bring the front end in, Sarah and Emma, because I don't know how many percentages are there, but they are incredibly strong sweepers. Your thoughts on the two of them and the amount of difference they can make in a curling game, because it seems incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge difference for sure. They both work so hard at sweeping, and I didn't have experience with sweeping until I joined this team, so I feel like I have like a new appreciation for sweeping, and have really enjoyed like learning from both of them. And it's not just their strength, but also just like their awareness out on the ice, like knowing all the different paths of the sheet, knowing the best like rock placement for each shot, and it's just very impressive.
It is very impressive. Rachel, since you brought Tracy on the team, since you guys got together, your points for per end, like your big scores, have increased dramatically from a few years ago. Biggest reason for that, I'd like to hear. Bringing Tracy on the team. Since she came on the team, the amount of big scores is really, really, well, exploded, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very specific stat about something. I think
Sorry, that's the way I look at everything.
I think since she's come on the team, we've probably been better at a lot of things. Specifically big ends. I think, now that we have Tracy on the team and we kind of have a back end player at each position, we have all the shots. We have that experience, and, we were kind of talking about it last week a little bit, Tracy with, as a skip, so much experience drawing and mapping the sheet and that, and then having that at third, you throw a lot of random draws at third. You got to make educated guesses. You got to be really in tune with your delivery and how it runs and different spots. And I think her having that experience and playing third is just so valuable. And I mean, maybe that's where we're getting a couple scores and hammers. Is that the stop? But yeah, someone told me last week that um, we the only ends that we weren't in control of um, all week were 5 ends, and it's because we didn't start with hammer.
Wow.
So I don't
5 in the whole week.
That's a strong stat.
That's
Yeah.
a strong stat.
think I'd have to double check, but someone told me that. Like no control situations, and if you are tied without, you don't have control. And I think we started 5 games without hammer that week. So it's pretty cool to look back, and to see what you're able to achieve. Um, and obviously, not all of our tournaments are like that. We've that was a really strong tournament by the team, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I think probably all of our stats have gone up since Tracy joined the team. I don't know about big ends. Tracy's a big end player.
Well, it's an unbelievable record. If we look back over the last year, from the last Scotties World Championship, and then this year, record of 56-4, 22 straight wins in the Scotties, 3 Grand Slams this year. You played 100% in the final game, and a lot of those shots weren't easy. Your level of execution, Rachel, is something that I've never seen before. So that takes a great deal of confidence. You've been able to keep that confidence going for over a year to that degree. What do you account that for? What do you attribute that to? Being able to have that level of confidence that you have right now.
I mean, definitely like my teammates. I have a lot of confidence in like when I'm throwing specifically and Tracy's line calls and the front end, just understanding the nuances of line calls. It's not just about like on off, it's like how hard did she yell at me? Did she really mean it? Um, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think Emma and I playing for so long together helps. And I mean, sometimes it hinders. I know there was a couple shots last week where the girls are like, I have no idea what the two of you are saying to each other. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if we have our own language at this point after 30 years together. And honestly, like, my kids have a huge part in that. We're gone a lot, and I want to make the most of the time that I'm away from them. And I know that's for everyone. But I think just dialing it in that much more, I'm grateful for the opportunities we have, and excited that my kids, get to see me chase my goals and achieve dreams. But at the same time, it's I get home and they're a foot taller, it feels like, and I just want to do them proud and also my teammates.
Well, you're doing that. So let's another question that a little bit of a surprise here just before the Scotties, and the fact you named Jennifer Jones as your coach. What sort of went into that decision? And is she just for this year, or is Jennifer going to be there with you through the Olympic trials and so on next year? What's the plan?
Yeah, we brought on Jen. She's kind of consulting with this throughout the year. She's such a great fit. She brings so much expertise, experience. She's won a million different ways. She knows how to win, knows how to get the best of her teammates. And it's definitely like, at first it's like a strange thing because you go from like being enemies all the years, like on the ice, and that's who your competition is. And then, when she steps away, everybody has just enormous respect for her. She's a goat. She's done everything. I remember watching her win the gold Olympics and just being in awe of her. And now to be able to chat with her and bounce things off of her and chat tactics, and she's such a positive person and really has a great pulse on her teammates and where everyone's at. So I think just like the nuances of the game, like there's just so much value she brings that it was really easy. And it's funny because we have a lot of like similar some similar accomplishments, and have played at a very high level at the same. And so if it's weird to see like so many similarities between Jen and I and how we see the game and strategy and everything. It's funny to see how similar we are at the end of the day.
So is there a plan to go beyond this year or wait and see?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're focused on Worlds. She actually can't come with us because she'll be competing at mixed doubles nationals with Brent. She's carded in mixed doubles, and that's an obligation that she can't get out of, based on rulings in Sport Canada and funding and things like that. So we're going forward kind of similar to last year. Last year we had Dawn, but we get our national coach at Worlds, so we'll have an extra person there to help us out, which is nice.
So Tracy, big game announced to happen on April 7th. Number 1 men's in the world playing number 1 women's. You're going to go against Bruce Mowat and his crew. How'd this all come about, and what do you think of the idea? Are you pretty excited about it?
Yeah, we're all very excited. It's always fun to do something new, and it's for a great cause. It's all for charity, so we're happy to do it, and I think we're all gonna have a lot of fun out there.
Yeah. You want to win. Come on.
Of course, we want to win.
There we
Of
go. Yeah.
course we
Easy on
do.
all fun all the time. Easy. Yeah.
How'd this all happen? Because we talked about it on our show one day, and it hasn't
Yeah.
happened for a long time where the top women's team has played against the top men's team. But it has happened going back as far as the 70s. It took place between Vera Pezer and Oris Milischuk. But so how'd this come about?
Rachel could probably speak better to it, but I believe like the curling group just approached us to see if we would be interested in something like that.
Yeah, they were floating around the idea, and then it's hard to figure out what the logistics around that is. So I think they're tacking it onto the beginning of the players. So you don't have to go and find a venue or anything like that. So that made a lot of sense, and I think they're gonna do like different formatting and kind of make it exciting for the fans. I think we might. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say actually. Surprise. We had like all kinds of ideas of like putting like fat grips like all down the handle. Can you imagine trying to sweep with like 5 pounds in your hand, in fact, we're like 50. But then we're like, they're probably gonna get hurt, and then they have to play on the players. So I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I hope it does. Yeah, because it's like it's not even close when you compare sweeping. So we're like, okay, well we'll play you, but you have to like.
We talked about that on the last show. As a matter of fact, of should we be looking to the future where maybe women's curling can have a little different brush than the men's do? Maybe we're into the foam controversy right now. Maybe the women's teams can have black foam and the men's can't. What's your thought?
Yeah, we were talking about that actually because the guys were saying that they wanted to go back to like anything before 2020 or something like that because the foam was softer. And I was like, well, maybe the guys do that and the girls stick with the white foam that we have now, and then it's fairly
Balanced.
like on par,
Great idea.
But then the guys' percentages would go down. They'd be sad. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Exactly. You know what? Just kick their ass, and then the whole thing. Okay, forget all the sweeping talk. Just kick their ass, and it'll settle everything. Rachel, I mean, you've curled at such a high level for such a long time. You've lost about 2 games since 2019,
Come on,
or
true.
whatever. You just don't lose. You just don't lose.
Don't say that. We're going to the Worlds.
I know. You're going to the Worlds.
Lose all the time.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm okay. I'm okay if you lose a game or 2.
Just
at
not the
Worlds,
last one.
or 3. Yeah, just not the last one. Exactly.
Or the
Yeah.
second last one.
Can you, like, you're on this incredible run? Can you put your finger on it, Rachel? Over the last several months, that you guys are just knocking it out of the park. You're hands down the number 1 team in the world. There's just no question about it. Is there something different over the last several months that you could put your finger on, saying, this is what I changed, or I changed my focus or strategy, or what, if anything?
Well, if I told you, that wouldn't.
No secrets.
Great.
Do not give up any secrets.
Can't
If
tell
it
you
is,
secrets.
just say yes. Have you done something different?
In the last 2 months?
Yeah.
No, but
Sure.
I would maybe a few tweaks here or there. over
Dun,
the
dun,
last
dun.
2 years. Over the last 2
Okay.
years, not being pregnant is definitely helpful. I'll give that secret away.
Forgot about that. Yeah,
You forgot about that.
I did, and
Glad
everyone
you
was.
forgot about it.
Every time we interviewed someone, they were pregnant. Every time we, yeah. Rachel Homan and Tracy Fleury, your reigning Scotties champions. They're on their way to the Worlds. Congratulations. They swept the field at the Scotties. It was unbelievable. Way to go, you guys. Appreciate you coming on. You sound like you're hungover, Tracy.
Just fighting a bit of a cold. No, yeah, no hangover here.
Sure you are. Sure you are. Okay, good. Take it easy, you guys. Congratulations. Good luck at the Worlds. We'll be cheering for you for sure.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks a lot.